hit my hair low, I don't know.
I'm on my way, buddy.
My first trip to Canada, all excited. We're headed to Saskatchewan with Riley's Saskatchewan Big Buck Adventures. A great, great spot. First, Riley's just an awesome individual. The trip up there was interesting. So it's a drive, you know, it's 20 hours door to door. And most of it was uneventful. Got through the border. With COVID, you know, you're a little bit nervous. There's restrictions. A lot of people weren't making that trip. That's why the opportunity for us arose, because a group had backed out. You know, I was a little nervous about that. I've never went through the Canadian border, but we get through there and we're headed up there. Riley had given me a drop pin. So, you know, you figure you just follow those directions, right?
1 mile, prepare to park your car near Range Road 39F5. You will need to walk to your destination from there.
What?
You have arrived.
That can't be it.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, now what do we do? And cell service up there is really spotty because we're in the northern part of the bush. So we go to a town, our producer gets a little bit of cell service, gets a new drop pin. We head up there and we come to a farmer's lane, basically a green gate with a farmer's lane going through a hayfield, just a little 2-track. No, you know, sight of a lodge, no sign, no nothing. Probably 15 minutes away from where we were, I get a hold of Riley. He's like, did you see the green gate? Yeah, we saw the green gate. He goes, follow the 2-track. Well, the lodge is back in there, probably about a good mile. So anyway, we get there, it's 9 o'clock in the morning. We're already heading out to the stand at 11 o'clock. First bear hunt ever, well, at least in Canada. So we'll see how it goes. Man, it's gonna be, looks a lot further than that. He said he filled these barrels up on Sunday and they're completely gone. If we don't see a bear, something's wrong. Should be fun. That first night, it was brutal. We're sitting in a stand in the double, the producer and I, and literally you're so tired because we didn't sleep, neither one of us. So you're doing the head bobs, and literally all of a sudden David hits me, and to see your first bear was just awesome. I mean, I literally was like dozing off, and now you're instantly the adrenaline rush. Looking like he's big, right? They all look big. I'm telling you, Riley puts you through a little series where teaches you what to look for a big camp. Look for their back as high as the barrel, look for an even triangle on the head and all this stuff. Well, the first one comes in, I was like, oh man, he looks like a shooter. And then you started looking at him a little bit more, and he's not a shooter, he's definitely a smaller bear. But they all look big, especially if you've never bear hunted before. And literally, you know, I'm watching him, I'm filming him with my cell phone, and all of a sudden he grabs a hold of the tree, and I kind of freaked out.
Modern Hunter is brought to you by
That particular day we saw 2 bears, and literally he's loaded with bears. We saw bears every single day. I think my best day on stand I saw 9. One other day I saw 7. We just weren't seeing those big bears that Riley has up there. And other guys were shooting them the first night in camp. A guy had a 375 pounder, just an absolute giant. You know, so you know they're there, and it's just a matter of time. And you know, the bear rut is in the spring, so you're thinking, man, I got all these females. My favorite part of the hunt, though, is I had 2, and I'm pretty sure they're like cubs from 3 years ago, and they're 2 boars, And literally they'd come in almost daily, and it was just comical to watch them because it was like two brothers. You know, one would be sitting down, one would go up and swat them or bite them in the butt, and just that interaction and watching them. I mean, it was literally like watching your two kids fight. But one day in particular, it was kind of cool. The one literally looked at me, and he saw me up in the tree, and I wasn't moving or anything. And I don't know if he saw me or if he decided he was just gonna crawl up the tree to go up into the double stand and take a little nap, because there was bear hair in the stand when I got there. And literally, you know, I'm watching him, I'm filming him with my cell phone, and all of a sudden he grabs a hold of the tree, and I kind of freaked out. I wish now, in retrospect, I wish I would have let him climb up the tree and videotaped it all the while, but I freaked out, and I made a movement, and he spooked, and then they went off. But definitely a cool thing. The one thing about bear camp I'm going to say is don't expect not to gain weight, right? Because I'm sitting 9 hours. Larry's food is absolutely fantastic. You're probably going to eat more, you're going to sleep, and you're going to sit on your butt the rest of the day. And check out the peanut butter cookies. I think I ate a whole box of them by myself. Wade, welcome to Modern Hunter.
Thank you.
I want to take a second and talk a little bit about technology, especially filming your own hunts. I've been doing it for years. I mean, like, I can go back, and we've had a TV show for 17, 18 years, and I was probably doing it 20 years ago, longer than that. And at that time, you know, I would have loved to have a camera this size. I mean, I was using a camera that was out to here, big, and now filming your own hunts is easier than it's ever been. Correct?
Absolutely. And with our platform, we provide a whole package that we feel makes it even that much easier for a hunter that's just getting into filming their hunts. There's, as you know, there's a lot of different ways a new novice filmer can get involved in it. But
since you film a lot, I film a lot. When you're doing the memory side, you don't care if it's low light.
No.
I mean, like on the professional side, man, if it's not spectacular or really good footage, we let it go. I mean, I wish people realized how many deer we let it go. So far, just this year, I mean, we let 2 different bucks go.
Exactly. So, and you and I have talked about this in the past, but I feel like when I introduced filming into my arsenal of enjoying the outdoors, it matured me as a hunter. I was able to, you know, maybe look at a 130, get them on camera, and I've already felt a sense of accomplishment and gratification because I didn't necessarily have to harvest that deer. I can go back and look at them 100 times and be like, yeah, that deer's going to be a great one next year.
Identifiable.
Yeah, and I enjoy that part of tracking a whitetail's growth. There's always some characteristic that you can find on that animal. What's really great is when you have a deer that it isn't even antler related. He's got a double throat patch or something like that, and I can see him. Yeah, I can see him all year round that way. That's exciting part of checking them out.
I agree. Plus, I think it takes you one step further as a hunter.
Technology, right? Technology has improved us as hunters all across the board, I think, and whether it be trail cameras, you know, the performance aspects of our equipment. Cameras is just like what we do with Apex Outdoor Rewards, just another aspect of technology to incorporate into your hunting adventures. And so from that standpoint, there's a lot of rewards that come with bringing a camera to the outdoors.
I agree. I couldn't agree with you more. And here, you know, join Apex, and you, not only do you get a good camera, you get a chance to get some great rewards. Absolutely. In the end.
And not to mention the most important thing, all the hunters that get involved with Apex Outdoor Rewards that are helping conservation along the way, because proceeds from each whitetail challenge in each state helps that state whitetail conservation organizations.
It's great. Yeah. Apex Rewards. It just adds that one element to your hunting that you might be missing. It lets you share the hunt, and that's what it's all about. It rained literally every single day of the hunt. And when I talk about miserable, I'm talking you're on the stand from 11 o'clock to 9 o'clock at night, so 10 hours sitting in the rain. Well, guess who forgot the rain gear? I had the best rain gear in the world. Well, it doesn't help you when it's sitting in Wisconsin. The problem with it is we took a van into camp, right? So we got a rental van. We're a mile in, and on the outside where you drive across that hayfield, all of a sudden becomes underneath water by 2 feet. And literally all the four-wheel drive trucks are just rutting this thing up, and I'm like, holy crap, we're not ever getting out of this place with a rental car. And it stopped raining, and it started drying up. And then everybody was leaving the next morning because the hunt was supposed to be over. And Riley's like, well, you guys aren't leaving. There's no way you're getting through it. I say you let it dry out one more day because I'll let you hunt again. Last night in bear camp, I saw a ton of bears, just nothing big enough to shoot. So they moved me into a new area. It was literally pounded. The barrel was down. There's big bear scat everywhere. Looks good. Time will tell. High pressures moved in. No more rain. Thank God. It should be a good night. All we can do is wait and see. Like Riley told me, when you see a big bear, you'll know it. And there is no doubt in my mind. I had him in the bite, and I said, holy crap, that's a shooter. Last night of bear season, I just had a really nice boar come in with a female. I might have hit my hair low, I don't know. All we can do is wait and see, I guess. I heard him run over that way. Hopefully, keep my fingers crossed. That's all you can do. Oh my gosh.
Modern Hunter is brought to you by
Nothing kills a hunt more than cold feet, right? One of the keys to that is keeping your feet dry. If you put your boots on, they're already wet, you're already halfway defeated, right? So that's where this comes into effect. The Pete Shoe Dryer, if you guys aren't familiar with it, they've been the leader in boot drying technology for years and years and years. What it's gonna do, it's gonna dry your shoes, it's gonna keep your feet warm when you first put them on. It's nice to put on warm boots. They have a standalone unit that sits at home that you can even use ozone on. This is the portable unit. This is probably my favorite because we travel, right? Or even for your kids, if they have their sports shoes or anything, it is so adaptable that you can use it for any of those uses. What I really like about the portability is you could use a car charger, right? So you could be working all day, throw your boots on it on the way out to the field, put them on in the field, they're gonna be nice and dry. Again, you don't have to worry about having wet feet when you get into it, which is gonna make them a lot warmer in the long run. Keeping your boots dry keeps that odor down. So therefore, you're eliminating that process. Bacteria is going to be eliminated. It is key to hunting. Again, it just dries out all that moisture out of your boot. It's going to keep the bacteria down by keeping that dry. I mean, there's so many advantages of it. Check out the Peat Shoe Dryer. You won't be disappointed. So now I'm sitting in the stand and now I'm getting nervous, like, God, did I make a bad shot? Did I hit it too far back? Did I do this? Meanwhile, this sow comes back out. She's in the bait pile. And my guide, Courtney, told me to call him on the radio. So every time I'd call, that bear would look at me and just pop her teeth from the bait pile. She didn't run away. She didn't do anything. She was just mad. And he comes and I'm like, oh, finally the sow's going to run away. She doesn't run until he's probably 10 yards from where the bait pile is. So we only walked maybe 10 yards in the woods. He's like, well, it's definitely on this trail. I'm just gonna kind of sneak forward. He goes, oh, I see your bear. I'm like, yay. You are a better man than me. That bear's back again. I just heard him crash. We're hunting Saskatchewan with Saskatchewan Big Buck Adventures, and Riley's just got an awesome place. Even though his name says whitetails, you know, you're thinking about big bucks, he has huge bears as well. And there's a bear behind me going nuts right now. Doesn't like that we're actually here, probably got her boyfriend. But this week has been just phenomenal. It's been raining and kind of crappy, and yet here we are with the end result is a beautiful boar. It took us an extra day to get it done, but I couldn't be more pleased. I made a good shot. He came in. Just look at the head on that thing. It's just immense, and his body is big, and they got a beautiful coat. I've always dreamed about shooting a black bear, and I got it done. Thank you, Riley. Thank you to all the guides as well. What a beautiful bear. And you can hear, if you listen close, you can hear her popping her teeth, and all of a sudden you hear scrambling down the tree. And we literally grabbed that bear after I got done with the dinner, threw it on the trailer and got out. I'm glad one of us had got it done. It's been multiple bears that we've seen all week long, and finally I had a shooter come in. And they said all along, you'll know it when you see one. I knew it when I saw one. His head just looked immense when he rounded that tree. So you could instantly go into hunter mode and where am I going to shoot him, and it all worked out. So I feel blessed. But we got it back, and you know, the rest is history. It was probably one of the most fun hunts that I've ever been on. Maybe it was that new experience. I know a lot of you guys are sitting there going, God, it's kind of boring to watch. It is a ton of fun. And literally, it is a hunt. It's not a gimme. I mean, you're sitting there, like I said, 9-10 hours a day, and the weather can be bad, it can be cold, it can be miserable, but what you're gonna see is a ton of grouse. You're probably gonna see a ton of bear. You're probably gonna see some deer. I had a bachelor group of 3 bucks come in. Check it out. Check out Riley's website, Big Buck Adventures. Riley, he's a great guy. It's a great spot. They have huge whitetails and tons of bears.